Alright, what's up guys, Chokosur here, and we're back with another Secret of Mana Randomizer Seed of the Week. This is number 244, and for this week we have a Vanilla Long Seed for this week. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. We have 15 flags for this weekly seed. Starting off, we have a random starting character. We also have restrictive logic as always. Flamey Drum is going to be on logic as well, so we will have to locate that among the checks. We also have to deal with hard complexity. So some of the progression items could be in more obscure locations. They could be behind chains. They could be in lesser priority checks. It could be in silly spots, so we do have to deal with hard complexity this run. We also have swapped bosses, so the bosses are going to be randomized. I don't think the bosses are going to repeat as they would with random bosses. Allow locked items is also a thing this run, so we will have to keep this in mind because the randomizer may make some things inaccessible, and depending on what gets locked out of the seed will determine what what we have to do and what we can do anyway. This can apply to characters, elemental spirits, mana seeds, weapons, miscellaneous items like the Moogle belt. So any of those can potentially be locked out of the seed. We also have starter gear. Starter gear basically says that you get to start off with 3 pieces of gear instead of 1. So the boy, for example, instead of starting off with his overalls, he will start off with overalls, wristband, and a bandana. So basically, this gives them a little bit more defense early game. It caps their evasion early game. So starter gear is a pretty nice flag to have. Find both characters at current level. So all 3 characters are in the seed. We also have random character roles. So the boy, the girl, the sprite, their roles can be randomized amongst each other. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. Unique is not checked off, so that means that we could deal with, or we could be dealing with duplicate roles. So we could end up with, 3 boys, 3 sprites, 3 girls, or any combination of the 3. We also have high chest drops and mini chest traps. So it is what it says. Enemies will be dropping chests more often than normal, but most of them will have traps in them. So more than likely, we won't be worrying about getting chests too much. I mean, unless we find like Sylphid and the girl or something, but other than that, probably not going to be opening too many chests. Faster magic leveling is disabled, so basically the spell experience is going to be set to their vanilla values. So spells will be leveling up as they do in vanilla Secret of Mana. 12 spells required to get an elemental from level 0 to level 1 instead of 3. We also have enemy type status ailments. It is what it says. Gold multiplier is set to 1.0. So the enemies will be dropping a little bit less gold than they normally do. Normally this is set to 2.0. And we have a 300 gold start. Alright, so this seed has the potential to be quite nasty. It depends on if allowed locked items is mean, if hard complexity is mean, if the flaming drum is in a stupid spot, or any combination of the 3. So yeah, this seed does have potential to be quite mean, but it also depends on who our characters are and what roles they are. So yeah, this could be quite mean. Let's just keep it that way. This seed could be quite mean, but we'll see. Alright, so starting off with the girl. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so girls start with 50 HP, means that the girl is going to have the boys roll, so she will not have her magic this run. Okay, boomerang start. And a spear orb. Let's go ahead and check this boomerang, int, and fire. Okay, a dark seed in a castle. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a save here. I'm gonna go ahead and checkmate this ant. See what's here. Okay, hold on. Okay, no. Here's what we're gonna do with that guy. We're gonna load our save. We're gonna walk outside and we're gonna kill 3 enemies real quick because we do have a fire element weapon. That guy is weak to fire. However, he's gonna have more HP and more defense. So, oh, slime is actually perfect. So we're just gonna get this to level 1 real quick. Okay, not needed sulfate, good to know. Now we're gonna fight that guy because with our level 1 boomerang charge attack, we can hit him twice. And that will speed up the fight, which we will desperately want to do. As I said, Hydra has more HP at level 1 than other bosses do. It has more defense. And I don't want to be on this fight all day. Nice. Dead. Now, without that level 1 charge attack, that battle would have taken much longer. So that's exactly why I did what I did there. Sometimes you have to make use of your charge attacks. Now, whether I'm keeping this or not, I don't know. Alright, Sword Orb and Jab Orb. Okay. Nah. I'm not going to keep that. Okay, so nothing got made to Sam. We know those guys are dropping chocolates. Okay, gnome needed for Grand Palace. Okay. Not needed Lumina. Alright, so we're good in getting some information about Grand Palace, which is good. Alright, nothing there. I want to go ahead and save at Nico here. What do you got, honestly? If you got anything cheap, that'd be nice. You don't. Oh, yes, you do. Yeah. We'll pick this up. I'll go ahead and pick that up. Alright, so drop a save there. We'll check Undini's cave and see what's there. Alright, Moonseed and a volcano. Alright, so Moonseed is in the Pure Land somewhere. Vampire? Yep, vampire. We should be okay. It is possible to hit this boss twice as well. You just have to hit him on... or hit him at the right time. Vampire is another one of those bosses that has more HP at level 1 than other bosses do. Nice, we take that. Yeah, I think as he's rising up from the ground, we can hit him twice. And when he does that. Yeah, so certain spots you can hit Vampire twice with the level 1 charge. When he's transitioning into phase 2, like when he's rising up off the ground, you can hit him twice. And when he is in the middle of a sleep ring, you can hit him twice right there too. Okay, we get Bow Orb. Level 3. Nothing. And is this even randomized? Undine chilling in her cave today. Alright, so we got Undine. Let's see. Our next stop is going to be Gaia's Navel here. Alright, Axe is late. Oh, brother. And Swords in a Castle. Alright, so we got 2 hints about our cutting weapons. Axe is late game. So that means the axe can only be in certain spots late game. Damn. Alright, let's go grab the magic rope chest. Okay, $800. Okay, World Jam, we take that, we rope out. I might just sell that World Jam actually. I doubt I'll need it. Okay, gold key on Watts. Alright, 400 gold on Elder. Shade required for Grand Palace. Or Earth Palace rather, not Grand Palace. What am I talking about? Shade required for Earth Palace. And there's the Earth Seed. Hope out. We can't turn that in, obviously. Okay, Ivy Amulets here, so is Gold Vest and Silver Band. I will pick up a Silver Band for now. Alright, let's see. Do I save split? I can. We've got 23 defense, so I don't see why we can't. Tiger? Oh, God, of course. This is actually unfortunate. I'm thinking about resetting, but I probably shouldn't. I mean, he is a fire boss, and I have a fire element boomerang, which means I'm not doing that much damage to him. I mean, we're doing 14 with level 1 charge attacks, yeah, but Spiky Tigers doesn't have that much defense, so I think I'll just go ahead and do this. Yeah, I gotta commit to this fight now. As much as I don't want to do it with this weapon, but sometimes you just don't have a better option. What? There we go. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much we could have done there. Fire element boomerang on a fire element boss. You can't really do much about that. I honestly don't want to come back here, so that's the other reason why I did it. All right, level 5. Axe Orb, Boom Orb, Sprite. Okay, that's actually worth it. Okay, Sprite came with the bow. Let's force this boomerang. I could force the bow. Alright, let me see what's on it first before I force it. Light. Okay, no, I'm not forging that. Intelligence. Strength and stone on the boomerang, though, which is really nice. Okay, let's see. Sprite's got 69 HP, which means I think he's himself. Yeah, he's himself. Okay, he's got his default magic spells. So yeah, Sprite is himself. Alright, we go ahead and check this. Axe Beak? No, Spring Beak. Yeah, that's Spring Beak. Yeah, we can do this. Alright, that's a Thunderbolt. Got him. Alright, so I'm going to keep the bow where it is. It's got intelligence on it. We have Undini, so might as well. Alright, we get Glove Orb and a Whip Orb. No thanks. Not interested. Alright, so we reset out of that. We go to the shop and buy a silver band for the Sprite. Yeah. I gotta remind myself that Golden Vest is in the shop too, and the girl is running the boys' role here. Okay, we can sell that. We can sell this as well. Alright, so we are actually going to rope out of here because we already checked the magic rope chest. And now my next move is to cast 4 of these. We're going to make our way down towards Kaipo Village here. Okay, not needed Sylphid. We already know that. We can check the shop, I guess. Damn. Okay, chest guard is here. I might have to come back there to get that later. Alright, I do want to sleep here, and the reason why is because I can cast 4 more spells on the way to Pandora, so... we will go ahead and sleep. We're not saving there. Trying to think if I want to sleep and cast 4 more spells before going to ruins here. Nah, let's just go. Let's just go. Alright, so let me see. Let's think. Sylphid and Lumina not required. So the max amount of elementals we're gonna need is 6. We know that the sword's in a castle. We know that the axe is late. The axe being late limits it to Light Palace, Moon Palace, Tastic Turtle Isle, Lighthouse, Pure Land, and Sunken Continent, pretty much. I mean, might as well. I'm 4 spells away from level 1. Yeah. If I can get the dragon to sit in this spot, then we'll be fine. There we go. Good stuff. I will say these early game bosses are kind of troll compared to what we have available. But I mean, Rando's gonna Rando, does that sometimes. Alright, Spear Orb and 600 bucks. Finding quite a bit of money early too, which is a good thing. Alright, so we need what? Helmets now? Okay, tiger caps, golden rings. Dang, all the tiger gears here. Okay. All the tiger gears in that shop. So Sprite's got silver band and his midrobe. Girl's got silver band and a oh wow, 2,000 bucks. That's actually really huge. Silver band and a chain vest. All right, let's see what we got. Light seed, dark seed, whip orb. There's shade. There's our flaming drum, and 400 bucks. Okay, cool. Before we flame me out though, we just got a lot of cash. Girl had 2,000 bucks on her. We got 400 from the treasury, so I'm gonna grab two. Get out of the way, Pokemon lady. I'm gonna grab two tiger caps here. There we go. All right, so now we got to get some chest armor. We know where chest guard is. We saw that in Kaipo, and we saw golden vest back in Dwarf Village. So I don't think we need to look in any more shops now. Okay, needed Undini. All right, good to know. We flame out and do some freebies. We've got 3 seeds. We've got Undini. We've got Shade. We don't have Lumina. I don't remember picking up Lumina. Unless this tracker's trying to tell me something. Alright, 1,400 gold. And a bow orb, okay? Flame me out. I think the tracker's trying to tell me something by having Lumina lit up there when I don't have Lumina. Alright, let's see. Alright, there's Salamando. The sword wasn't in the treasury, so the sword... We know the axe is late. I think the worst case scenario for the sword is it's sitting at Witch's Castle, which means we need the axe to get to it. And under hard complexity, that is very possible. Alright, let's go to Mandala and see if we can learn anything here. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Nothing there. Okay, Flamey Jump early. We already got that. Water Seed is mid. Okay, good to know. Shade in the town. We already got that. Total elements needed is 6. Okay, so we know exactly what we need. What we need now. Okay, Sprite in the town. We already got him. And nothing. Alright, so 6 elements needed for Grand Palace. We know 2 of them are not required, so that means the other 6 are. So let's see. Salamander's required, so is Shade, so is Luna, so is Dryad. There we go. Alright, so now we have information on what's required for Grand Palace. That actually saves me a little bit of time of going to Sunken Continent and looking into those orb rooms. Because now we know exactly what we need. We pretty much need every elemental except for Silpher and Lumina. So we need to find Gnome and Luna and Dryad. Nice, we take that. Okay, there's the sword. Excellent. Excellent. We got a cutting weapon. Alright, need a shade. Yep, we already know. We already know. We need shade. Okay, so now we just gotta find the other 3 elementals. Luna, Dryad, and Gnome. And the whip. We gotta find that too. So far, allow locked items is behaving itself. We don't know. We don't know of anything that's locked out of the seed so far. Okay, $400 there. I think we just go straight to Mara here. All right, Mara, what you got? Nothing. Oh, that's not nothing. 1,600 gold. There's a lot of gold in this seed. Holy moly, there's a lot of gold in this seed. All right, we check Chrissy. Okay, Chrissy says nothing. We're not checking the shop because we know where better chess pieces are. We have tiger caps, we have silver bands. Those are good enough for now. So right now, I want to concentrate on doing free checks. All right, speed orb. Bow orb. Whip out. I messed that up. Okay, there's our water seed. I know what I ought to be doing though is to be casting my dang shade magic. Let me check my XP real quick. 68. Let me see how much XP we're getting right now. About 14. I want to go ahead and start him with shade here. All right, axe orb. The plan here is to expend all my MP and then level up. Alright, glove orb. Clear me out. We're not checking the back chest. The only way that back chest is relevant is if one of our elemental spirits is back there. Actually, let me go to Gold Isle real fast. We do have the key. We can check this chest for free. Try it. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. Why did I cast Sleep Flower? The ring just automatically pointed to dry. I don't know. I was trying to cast Dispel Magic there. And that is the wrong location. We don't want to land on that brown section. We want to land over here. There we go. Okay, get off of Dryad. Thank you. Now I got no dang MP. Alright, Earth Seed early. We already got that. Okay, with Orb. Guessing that Sleep Flower kind of messed up my shade momentum a little bit. Because I don't plan on leveling Dryad this seed. We're running faster magic level than Disable, and we don't have Luna, so we're not going to touch Dryad. I do need to kill something, though. There we go. I want you. Sprite. Really? Dude. Alright, Boom Orb. I'm gonna get this to one real fast. There we go. Alright, we're leaving. Alright, so let me see. We got 4 seeds. We are looking for Luna and Gnome. We've got a cutting weapon, but no whip. Oh, no. I actually want to go to Kaipo and then do a village. I'm trying to figure out what my next play is. We can turn in the water seed. Can we do Witch's Castle? No, we don't have the whip. We can't turn in the earth seed either. Can't turn in the dark seed. We can turn in the light seed if I go back to our gold tower. I could force the boomerang here, but I like the strength and stone, so I might as well keep it where it is. That's greedy. I need walnuts too, so I'm not gonna bother. That's greedy as hell. Grab this, or we'll sell this rather. Sell that. Sell this. Sell this. I'm actually down for a Pure Land run here. Whoops. Yeah, I'm down for a Pure Land run here. But before I go, I want to get a couple of walnuts, just in case, because we don't have Luna. Alright, so we're gonna rope out. There is a chance that we may need the axe at some point. So I kind of want to look for that on the side. I'm going to stop here and grab some walnuts. Okay, there's power wrist, which I don't need at this point. I'll grab 2. Okay, we already slept, so yeah, I think a Pure Land run isn't too bad of a call to make here. Our offense is a little on the weak side, but I think we should be okay. I do want to check experience though. 320. Yeah, we should level up this next boss. We should. All right, who is this? Oh, Tropicala. All right, we got you. And I'm gonna throw this in just for good measure. Dead. Yep. This is a seed. This is a seed where we want to spend, cast as many spells as possible because we are running faster magic level and disabled. So we want to get as much spell experience as we can. Okay, whip orb, nothing. All right, let's keep going. Wall? Yeah. Okay. He's probably gonna heal. Yeah. Got him. Dead. Very nice. I'm gonna try not to use my fairy walnuts here. Unless I need to. Unless we're fighting like a Gigas or something. Alright, Spear Orb, and there's the Moon Seed. We got a hint about that earlier. About the Moon Seed being in a volcano. I ran in the wrong spot there. Killway? Yeah. You did? No, you're not. Okay. One more. Alright, so we're gonna try to use Undine as our main elemental here. Whenever you're running faster magic level and disable, you kind of want to just pick one elemental and stick with it. Because you really don't have the luxury to bounce between elementals, especially when you don't have Luna. All right, so jab warp there. Let's keep moving. And Shade's probably gonna end up being my backup element until I get to Mana Beast anyway. Blue Dragon. Ugh. Yeah, might as well. I think I might need my boomerang for this. Yeah. That missed him. Okay, he's in an awkward spot. Okay, move him out of the way. No. I want him to come over here. This one, girl. Yeah. Got him. I knew if I timed that right, I could hit him. Hitting the dragons when they're flying back onto the screen is tricky because if they get too close to you, then they'll use one of their attacks on you. And that'll give them iframes. So you kind of have to let your attack go before it gets into range. Okay, there's that. Because like I said, once it gets too close, or once it gets within a certain range of you, it will use one of its abilities and it gets iframes. Whether it's casting a spell or using Blitz Breath or whatever. And when they get iframes, obviously you can't do damage to them. With weapons anyway. Ooh. Oh, wow. This is fine, actually. I'm throwing 2 of these out. With the spell experience. Dead. You may be wondering why I didn't use Salamander there. Yeah, I could have. And even level 0 Fireball would have done decent damage to him. But that Salamander spell experience isn't gonna do me any good. Okay, there's the Wind Seed. And it's mainly because I'm not using Salamander as my main element. So getting spell experience on Salamander isn't worth the time. I want to put all my spell experience on Shade and Undini here. Alright, Watermelon. Throw this out for good measure. You did? No. $15. Ah, you would move. I'm trying not to walnut here. Yeah. You don't want to walnut there. I could have. But there's no need to. All right, so we got the whip though. What does that do for us? Let's see. Witch's Castle's open. Jab orb, glove orb. Okay, no axe though. So the whip actually doesn't do too much for us here. It is hard complexity, so I could check whip locked areas, but the only whip locked areas we have access to right now are Witch's Castle, Frost Giga Spot, and Ice Palace, and the Grand Palace chest, I think. Wow, gnome on the mana tree. That is so diabolical. All right, let's see. How much gold do we have? 2,400. Level 12. Um, Let me see. Witch's Castle might be a decent play here. I'm not even sure if I want to go, to be honest, but we can check. I mean, there's also other checks we can do too. I'm really just thinking hard complexity, honestly. The axe is late though. Yeah, we can do Witch's Castle. I have to come from the Water Palace side though. Yeah, let's do it. We can also turn in the Water Sea too. Okay, what's my XP here? 100, 100. Right, what are we looking at? Okay, Undini's almost 3, Shade's almost 2. I think the play here is just to spam Shade until it gets to level 2. I have 3 freezes here. 84. 91. Alright, I gotta kill something. Probably better if I just use this. It has stone on it. I'm getting slept. It's Sprite leveled, I believe. Yeah, he did. Okay. Okay, Trap Flower's on I Spy Spot. I don't know if we get a Necessary hint out of this as well, but I mean, we can check and see. I'm probably gonna go ahead and save too. Go ahead and save split this location just in case there's nothing here. Alright, what does this say? Sylphid on a ped. That does not help me because, for one, we don't need Sylphid to finish the seed. So I don't think that hint is going to be useful to us. Okay, this is Snapdragon. Actually unfortunate. I'm gonna try to double hit him. Got him. He's dead. Nice. You can double hit Snapdragon when he's in his casting animation, when he's trying to heal. Alright, what we got? Sea Hair Tail and a Boomerang Orb. I kind of have to check that because it could be a chain we're looking at here. Wow. All right, so that led to nothing. Okay, so let's see. What's my next play here? I honestly should have reset out of that. I should have, but that's okay. The axe wasn't in Pure Land, so maybe we check the Grand Palace chest, because sometimes the seed can be cheeky enough to put something in there. It's done it before. It's done it plenty of times in the past where that Grand Palace chest actually has something we need. So I'm actually gonna check this. And at the same time, we can pop these orb rooms because we gotta pop them anyway. Alright, Salamendo. Okay, that's a Luna room. We can't do that since we don't have Luna. And we don't know where Luna is. That's a Salamando. Okay, we can't do the left side. We have to do the right side. We have that chest in a second. This is Dryad. Okay. I've got this. Wow, game. Are you serious? You put that there. You really put that there. Of course you did. I gotta go back downstairs and trigger that last orb now. Man. See, what did I tell you? The seed sometimes is cheeky enough to put stuff right there that you need. Alright, so now we're in go mode. So we might as well finish off the rest of this place. Luna being in the dang Grand Palace chest is so annoying. Okay, this is shade. The last orb room should be a gnome room because we haven't seen one yet, and we know gnome is required. So the last orb room has to be a gnome room. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on magic absorb here. Yep, no room. Alright, now we can go ahead and complete the seed. Alright, who is this? Oh, Bory Face? Ah, jeez. I might have to intervene with the girl here. I don't know how much damage this is gonna do. Boreal Face has magic defense, unfortunately. Might be dead right here, but yeah. Yeah, the game putting Luna in the Grand Palace chest was absolutely diabolical. And I can kind of see that tripping some other runners up too. Make 3? Nope. Should probably cast Dark Force on him. Dead. So that Luna was locked behind the whip. Alright, Boom Orb, Glove Orb. Tiger. Yeah, this should be hitting level 4 soon. Should be. There we go. Ugh. Dead. Yeah, I gotta get that magic absorb up a couple of levels, probably to level 3. Because the last thing we want magic absorb to do is to drain for 1. I mean, I got walnuts, yeah, but I only have, what, 2? Okay, axe orb, jab orb. We're just gonna go straight there. I'm not too worried about my defense right now. We want to get this off level 1 though. Oh, there's owls here, of course. Do I have herbs? I do. Got it. Oh, no, I didn't get it. I want to make sure I get these dang owls with this. Okay, Luna just hit 3, so we should be okay now. I hope. Alright, axe beak. Ah, 2 freezes killed him. Alright. Oh, hi, boy. Nice of you to join us, dude. We're not worried about him. If he dies, he dies. I mean, he would have been more useful if he came with girl magic, but he didn't. I'm gonna actually drain again. There we go. That's what, 600. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the boy had girl magic, then we could at least do mana magic strats on the mana beast, but we can't even do that. All right, last part. I don't think I need to cast anything in this section, so we're just gonna run toward the end here. We got a level 4 Undini. We have. I'm getting slowed. Oh, he's getting slowed. We have a level 4 Undini. We have a level 3. I think we have a level 3 Shade. And we have a level 3 Luna, so we should be okay. Again, if the board dies, we're not concerned. And my guys are back there getting status. Red Dragon. And we got you too. All right, so let's see. Unfortunately, we don't have any girl magic, so we can't use the strat where we keep the mana beast in one spot. Unfortunately, we also don't have the midge mallet, so there is a chance that the mana beast is gonna actually get to the foreground, or get into melee range, I should say. All right, 14 MP gives us 2 of these. Flashbang warning. I could throw a Dark Force in there too, but that's okay. I don't think this reaches. No, it doesn't reach. We gotta wait. It's coming from the bottom. All right, there is a chance his wall is gonna go off though. You did. No. Can we hit this in time? Yes. Okay, he's gonna cast wall here. Yeah. Alright, so we gotta dispel that. There we go. Hey boy, you survived. Came in all late and long. Just as useless as you can be. But you made it though. Alright, so 1:12:11 is our time for this seed of the week. This one was I'm not gonna say strange, but this one was kinda irritating a little bit. Just a little bit. Unfortunately, we ended up with 2 boys and a sprite for our roles, so we didn't have the option to use mana magic since there's no girl role, and obviously you need both the girl and the sprite to cast mana magic, so we didn't have that option this seed, so we kind of had to rely on Shade here. We could have also ran with weapons, but again, there's no girl role, there's no speed up, there's no, moon energy, so I don't know how that one would have turned out if we'd done it, but so I feel as though using Evil Gate was pretty much the only thing we could do. So, I mean, it is what it is. Alright, so this seed started out pretty decently. Some pretty troll bosses early on. We had the Spiky Tiger, and we had a Fire Element Bow. We had the Hydra. Well, the Hydra wasn't as troll because we had a fire weapon. We also had to deal with a Snow Dragon in Pandora Ruins, which, I mean, not as troll. We did have access to fire damage, so there is that. I think I leveled my boomerang up by that point too, I think, but I don't remember. But anywho, early game was a little bit trolling, just a little bit. We found a lot of free money on this seed, a lot of it. 400 gold on the Dwarf Elder. We found 2,000 on Girl, 600 on the Wall Face, 800 on the Magic Rope Chest, 1,400 on Moogle Village. Yeah, there was a lot of gold to be claimed this seed. And mainly the use for that gold on this seed is to obviously get some armor. Walnuts, which probably are necessary here. I didn't have to use my walnuts, but I mean, walnuts are pretty much a backup in case you run out of MP at a bad time or you need to refill during a boss fight. But thankfully that didn't happen, so I mean they were just there just in case. So we did early game, we checked everything, got the Flammy Drum at Pandora Ruins in the treasury, and then we went ahead and did freebies. We found some Mana Seeds for free, we found the Earth Seed for free in the Kilroy chest, we found the Wind Seed, I'm sorry, not the Wind Seed, the Dark Seed and the Light Seed in the treasury, as well as the Water Seed in Northtown Castle. So the seed gives you 4 Mana Seeds for free, pretty much. I know Dark Seed and Light Seed are behind the boss, but might as well be free, honestly. So I feel as though this is a seed where you either have to choose to use weapons or you choose to stick with using magic. Of course, there's faster magic leveling disabled, so you have to use your MP wisely and use it often, because if you want spell levels, you're going to have to cast a bunch of spells. Vanilla spell growth is what it is. You can't expect high level spells unless you purposely grind for them, which takes a long time. Even leveling things from say 2 to 3 takes a long time, and it's not necessary. So I think if a runner goes and just levels spells or uses MP on the way to their next check, I feel that's a good play. You saw me using like Dispel Magic and Magic Absorb on things on the way to my next destination. So I feel as though this is a seed where using spells on the fly is a pretty good idea. Allow locked items really didn't do anything. Didn't rear its ugly head. Nothing was locked out of the seed as far as I know. I could be wrong though. At least the seed didn't tell us that something was locked out. We never got any hints pertaining to any locked items, so I don't know. Sometimes when you run a seed with allow locked items, it doesn't lock out anything. I don't know if that's intended, but there is a chance that nothing is locked out of the seed and you have access to everything as normal. So that flag might as well not even be there. Going Pure Land early, I feel, is probably a pretty good strat. Because I mean, even if you're chasing the axe, which the axe, let's be real, the axe more than likely is required than not required. In this seed, it wasn't required, but sometimes the axe is one of those things that just, says, come and get me because I'm required to, finish the run. So I can understand players going to Pure Land early, if only to chase the axe, because we knew the axe was late. It ended up not being required, but what if you're in a situation where, okay, I know that the axe is late and I might need it to get to one of the elementals, or I might need it to get to something that's required in a chain or something like that. So, I mean, that's one reason why I chased the axe down. I also wanted to go Pure Land because it's hard complexity. And there could be stuff there, which sometimes it is. Hard complexity, you never know what that flag is going to do. So yeah, early Pure Land run, I feel, is probably the best play here. Once you get all your freebies done, you get your armor. There's, like I said earlier, there's plenty of money in the seed. So there's really no excuse for runners to not get armor here because the seed just throws so much cash at you. At the very least, you get something like, tiger caps, silver bands, and I don't know, chest guard for the sprite, and either sit on the chain vest or get golden vest for the boy. I don't think I saw fancy overalls anywhere. It would have been nice if I did, but we never saw them, so that's unfortunate. But anywho, I mean, use that money to get some armor, maybe upgrade your weapons a little bit, and then get a couple of walnuts and then go to Pure Land, or get your freebies and then go straight to Pure Land. It's probably the best play here, because the hints on the seed, they weren't, honestly, the hints weren't that great for the most part. We did learn, there were some good hints though. A few of the hints were pretty good, like Silver not being required, Lumina not being required, and then there's the hint that you need six elementals to get through Grand Palace. Those three hints are probably the best hints in the seed. So those three hints together tell you, oh, I need the other 6 elementals. So I don't have to go into Grand Palace and look into those orb rooms and find out, oh, what do I need? The seed tells you what you need. The seed tells you what you need by telling you what isn't required. Sometimes that works out, because if you find some hints that say, oh, there's 1 elemental that's not required, there's 2 elementals that's not required, you can do a process of elimination and say, oh, I might need the other 6. There's a possibility that I might need the other 6. So, but fortunately, the seed tells you you need 6 elementals. So there you go. There's your information for Grand Palace. So now you know what you have to look for. You have to look for Undini, Gnome, Salamander, Shade, Luna, and Dryad. Let's see. Undini, I believe, was early game behind a boss. Gnome was in a pretty silly spot behind the Mana Tree, which everyone has to do eventually. So Peel Land was hard required this run, both having Gnome and the Whip. Salamander was free behind Matango, I want to say. I think Salamander was at Matango, so that was required. Shade we got out of the treasury, so all runners are going to get that as well. Dryad required the gold key from Watts. Dryad was sitting in the first chest in the Light Palace. Luna is probably the only elemental that may throw runners off, because Luna is actually sitting in a stupid spot. Because unless the runner says to themselves, okay, they go through Pure Land, they get the whip, and then they say to themselves, it's hard complexity. What will happen if I check areas that are whip locked? And in this case, whip locked areas were Witch's Castle, Ice Palace, or Frostgate is to be exact, and the Grand Palace chest. Because remember, we didn't have the axe, so you can't add in places like Dark Palace because we can't get into Dark Palace. You can't add in places like Doppelgangers because you can't get through there. There's also Flaming Cave too that's whip locked as well, so you could have checked Flaming Cave too. But the Grand Palace chest is the easiest to get to, so that's why I did it, and boom, there she was. The Witch's Castle play I wasn't really in love with, but I decided to do it anyway because, again, Witch's Castle was locked by the whip in the seed, so maybe we get lucky, we find something there. Maybe hard complexity does its thing and puts something there that we need. Maybe there's a good hint on the Nesserberry, which unfortunately the Nesserberry did not give us a good hint. It told us that Sylphid was on a ped, but we don't need Sylphid for anything, so that's not a hint that is going to help anyone. Yeah, so depending on when runners find that Luna I feel it's gonna determine their overall time. Like I said, Luna, we got lucky pretty much by checking that Grand Palace chest, and by checking that Grand Palace chest, that was our last elemental that we needed, so we could go ahead and just finish off Grand Palace right then and there, and then move on through the rest of the run. So yeah, like I said, Luna was just in a silly spot. Not the worst spot, but not the best spot either. I mean, Grand Palace chest is usually a check that most folks don't prioritize unless it's free in the early game. At least I do anyway. I can't say what other runners do, but like if you have a whip start, or if you find the whip early enough, then that check becomes free. But yeah, it's not a check that is highly prioritized unless you're in this kind of a situation where it's hard complexity. You find a whip, and then you may think that there's something behind there because of the fact that it's hard complexity. So, I mean, it is what it is. All right, anyway, 1:12:11 is our time. I'm going to go ahead and put this time in. It is Saturday as I'm recording this video, so I doubt all the other runners are done yet. We'll see. I mean, most of the other runners, they do their weeklies during the week, it seems. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it looks like we got 2 other runners done. We got second with a 136.45 and third with a 138.47. Which are still good times because it's like I said earlier, I think it depends on when the runners find Luna and when they realize that Luna is the last elemental that they need and they just need to find her. Let's see what these guys are saying. First time on the board for this one, not super used to goals other than miniature revival, so I was a little hesitant to jump into the fortress with just 2 characters. But that was no big problem. Not great at the Grand Palace just yet, had to double back to set off one last orb, but otherwise. Oh, so they must be new to running the Rando, I see. Because I haven't seen them on here before. Yeah, they must be new at running the Rando. Which is cool. I mean, we love new runners. And they actually got a really good time considering what was in this seed. I was really hoping the fire seed I got from wasting all my time in Northtown would pay off in the end. Fire seed in Northtown. Oh, so they might have checked the bosses. Maybe the fire seed was on one of the bosses, or maybe in the back chest. We never did check the back chest. Spell levels are pretty important in this one. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do agree that spell levels were pretty important. I mean, because we really don't have a reason to run weapons. Because, like I said, we don't have girl magic, so running weapons seems kind of weird to me. Let's see, what else are they saying here? Also, getting Luna 45 seconds after realizing that element was missing. Must have overlooked it. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing how everyone else plays this seed. Because, like I said, I think it's when the runners get Luna that'll determine the times overall. And how fast they can get through these bosses. Because it's like what was said, using magic on the seed is definitely the way to go here. I mean, I feel as though when you're running a seed with faster magic leveling disabled, you personally, I tend to stick. I try to anyway. Sometimes I can't, but personally, I try to stick to 1 or 2 elementals and just forget about the rest of them because. I mean, even when you're running randomized boss elements, I feel as though you kind of want to stick to 1 main element or maybe 2. In my case, it was Undini and Shade, and I didn't bother with anything else, especially since we didn't have Luna until near the end of the seed. So I just, use Freeze on everything, use Dark Force on things, just use those 2 elementals and get results. Not bother with Gnome, not bother with Salamando. Yeah, there's a couple of bosses where I could have used Salamando magic, but it's not really worth it, honestly. So, yeah. When you do have the luxury of using multiple elementals, is pretty much when you have faster magic leveling enabled, you have a bunch of elemental options, you have Luna, you have Walnuts, etc., etc. Then yeah, you can go ahead and use multiple elementals. But on a seed like this, you don't want to be spreading around your spell experience and ultimately your time. You just want to sink all your eggs into one basket per se. Just use one elemental and stick to it, or have one main elemental and have a backup elemental in case. So I feel as though that gives the best results. All right. Anyway, 11211 is our time for this seed of the week number 244. As I said earlier, um, mystery seeds are coming back soon. Bingo is coming back soon. So you guys can look forward to that. Um, Other than that, I have nothing else to say. So I will see you all next time.